And the bonus tip is first in the video because I feel it is the most important. So tip number 10, I want everyone to hear, and that is you are not your body. You really are not. Yes, you inhabit a body. We all have a body, but just think about it. Your body is just a product of your genes, of your two parents coming together and producing you. It says nothing about who you are. It is your animating spirit, the part of you that actually animates this flesh. That is who you are. And that is what is the most important thing. And so we all have body image issues, things we don't like, but always remember, keep in the back of your mind at all times, you are not your body. I am not this body. I mean, it's not a bad body. It's an okay body. I'm happy with the body. It allows me to move and function in the world. And for that, I'm grateful. And that is the overarching message of the video. And that is the spirit of today's video, is that you are unchangeable. The essence of you is powerful and beautiful. And if you believe in spirituality or God or whatever your faith may be, or if you don't believe in anything, the essence of life itself, that is who you truly are. And that is what is most important. And this flesh changes. It's never ending change from birth to death and eventual decay. This body will change. It will change all the time. And so it's not a fixed thing, but the essence of you is. The essence of you is something that cannot be put into words, but the truth of you, who you really are, is beautiful. It is love, no matter what the external circumstances of your life and your body are. Please remember that. Hold that in your heart. Hold the truth of who you are, that life essence, that love essence. Hold that in your heart. I need to remember that because I forget all the time. I forget the truth of myself. I forget that I am an expression of life, and then I just get caught up in body image issues, and then I start to hate on myself, and that is what we are going to talk about in the rest of the video. What body part or body parts do you hate about yourself? Because sadly enough, I can give you a long list of body parts that I dislike about myself, and it's all too common for most of us. I think 99.999% of human beings on this planet, you and me, and almost everyone I know, dislikes something or many things about their bodies. And what a shame. It makes me sad. I was thinking about this as I was preparing to make this video because I wanted to share my body image issues with you so that you felt less alone in hating your own body. Not just so that you felt less alone, but so that you could see by looking at somebody outside of yourself and getting a little insight into what somebody like me dislikes about her body, you could sort of hear how insane it actually sounds. You'll feel less alone. You'll feel less crazy because, of course, we all have the same insane thoughts. But you'll also hear how useless and insane it actually is to spend time and effort and thinking on hating upon ourselves. And so in today's video, I'm going to share my body image issues with you, but I'm also going to share some tools, tricks, and tips that I've come up with and that I'm using to try and help me love the body parts that I dislike and to try and get out of that negative thinking that I don't know, it's impressed upon us by society, by the images that we see. I found that I've inherited or absorbed that it's okay and normal to hate certain parts of your body from my mother. Sorry, Mom. I know if you're watching this, it may upset you to think that you've passed on body hatred, body image issues to me. It's not you specifically. I mean, you are also a product of society. I'm talking to my mother now. So my mother used to always hide her feet, never wear open shoes because she didn't like her toes. And I also grew up seeing her hate her stomach. And I also always saw her wearing those tummy controlling undergarments that had that like built-in panel, that harder stitching that could hold in the stomach. And so I learned that hating and being ashamed of certain body parts is normal, it's okay. and that we hide them and we try and not reveal them, which I understand. And I'm not saying she did anything wrong. Of course, I'm not saying that. It's getting me also to examine how I am around body parts that I don't like in front of my son. And I think, oh, well, it's different. He's a boy, but he's still a human being. And for him to observe me hating certain body parts is also not okay. And I need to examine that and look at that in myself. And if you're a parent, I invite you to look at the ways that you hide or talk about body parts that you don't like. And just be aware that you could be passing that hatred onto your child. And then they'll interpret that and take that and weaponize it against body parts that they don't like. And you can just see how this all spirals and gets out of control. And it's not healthy. And we do need to try and break that cycle. And so mothers pass it on to daughters. In general, we all pass it on to each other. We keep it going. We all perpetuate it because all of us can nitpick and say, we don't like this, we don't like this. We want to change, let's say, flabby arms. Okay, on me, my arms are actually one of the parts I really like. But yes, that's getting looser with age. I could never do that before. I mean, and I work out, not as much as I used to, but I work out a lot. Now, you would think that 10 years of working out would have prevented that, but it hasn't. Anyway, so getting into the body parts that I struggle with on myself, the first one I've had fixed. It was my nose. When I was growing up, I had quite a hooked nose. It was my father's nose. And I struggled with it as it developed, as I became a teenager. I really didn't like my hook nose. All the other girls had these cute button noses. Anyway, eventually at the age of 27, I got a nose job. But by then, I had done the inner work. Yes, I was still young, but I'd done enough spiritual inner work on myself to realize that whether I got the nose job or I didn't, it wouldn't change anything about my life. I wouldn't be any happier. I wouldn't be any more fulfilled or content. I came to the realization that it's just a nose. I'm never going to like its shape. And if I change it by getting a nose job, the thing that I don't like will be changed. And that's as much as it was, and that's what it was. So for me, the nose job did fix the problem, but I'd come to accept and love my nose as it was. I was dating, I was happy, I had friends. Everything in my life was going okay. I mean, I'd had jobs, so nothing, I wasn't holding myself back in any way because of my nose. And it literally was, you know what, I'm just going to prefer my nose for the nose job. And so I got the nose job, and ta-da, I do. I simply prefer my nose with having had the nose job. I prefer it being a bit more ski rampy and cute, and that's really it. So I don't have anything negative to say about plastic surgery. I've got nothing against people changing anything, but there's so many body parts we can't change. And also, we cannot change every body part or thing that we hate about ourselves. And here's the big secret. With aging, I'm finding more and more things that I dislike. Now, put that in air quotes because whilst I'm seeing things that I don't particularly love, I'm also on a journey now to really accept and love my physical self as it is, because really, what is the alternative? What else am I going to do? Am I going to waste more money and hours and time and energy? I've already done that in my youth. Spent so much time, number one, disliking the parts of my body I don't like, thinking about it, spending money on fixing it, improving it, changing. It does get exhausting. And now that I'm 45 and I'm seeing that as the years roll on, the body just, I mean, it starts to sag, wrinkle, get softer. As much as I can go to gym, even the muscles themselves, you can work them out, but the actual muscles become also saggy and kind of softer, not wrinklier, but can you imagine a wrinkly muscle? But if you look at old people, you'll see that their muscle tone looks very different to somebody younger. As I get older, not that I really have a lot of cellulite, but the cellulite that I do have is more pronounced. So just moving my leg and lifting it up, you can see cellulite. Now for me, one of my big body image issues is my cankles. And I've made a video on my cankles, which I'll put the little poster here and you can watch. I'll link it below. Now, I've never really liked my thick, chunky legs in general, but I've often thought, at least if I had slim ankles, this is now my thinking crazy, my legs would look slimmer in general. You can just not, I just don't have delicate ankles. They don't go to, like most people, their ankle bones are pronounced and it's slim. There's no fat on most people's ankles. But on my ankles, there's fat. It's fatty, chunky. And you know what? I'm coming to realize, so what? Now, when I made that video on how to love it, or at least accept your cankles, I mean, I was struggling with that, trying to get to a place of acceptance. And so let me tell you the truth. It's not easy. I think for all of us, the body parts we dislike. Now, for you, it might be your belly, it might be your hips, your thighs, your ears, your toes, who knows? I think you'll never love that body, or maybe you will, but for me at least, it's not about trying to love something false and pretend I love it. It's for me coming to a place of it's okay. It's okay as it is. Here's an awesome clip. This is Justine Bateman. Listen to this. I wish I could get to this place.
Every time I see a change on me, like looser skin,
Yeah.
you know, at my elbow
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like under the arm,
Right.
you know, this.
Yeah.
I just go, that's what a cool arm looks like. Is your arm doesn't look like that? I feel bad for
I
you.
didn't get those genes yet, but we'll see.
Oh,
It could
see,
happen.
I feel bad for you. You don't have a cool arm yet. You know, or like I get in like the ropey
Right.
neck or the loose skin on the neck. You
Right.
just go, that's what a cool neck looks like. Or under the eyes or the hooded
Yeah.
eyes or this
Yeah.
that catches the light.
Right. Stop it.
That's what a cool face looks like.
When I watched that clip, that blew my mind where she said, you know, this is what a cool arm looks like. And I was thinking, oh, mind blown. She grabs her loose skin on her face and says, this is what a cool face looks like. And I thought, my God, you know, I love her. She is so rockingly badass in her attitude that I so want that. I want some of that for myself, that attitude of, world, this is me, take it or leave it. And yet I have to admit that if I had that amount of loose skin on my face, and I may get to that point where I do have that amount of loose skin on my face, but if I had that, I would probably, with all the acceptance in the world, I would probably still get surgery to remove some of it. And that is just me. And maybe it's me speaking from a place where I'm not at the place she is at in terms of self-acceptance yet. I would love to be there. I would love to mentally be in a place where I really didn't give a flying F what anyone thought of how I looked, but I'm not there yet. Where I'm at this point in time is I'm trying to accept that as I age, nothing is going to look as perfect as it used to. And I'm trying to accept that just that is okay. More under eye bags, slightly more lax skin, a little bit of extra weight gain in this last year. It's been such a struggle to lose the extra sort of 2 to 3 kgs that then I lose them and then I gain them and then I lose them and then I gain them. But there's also, on the flip side, a feeling of I don't care to lose the weight anymore like I used to. And as I'm getting older, I am getting more to a place of, you know what, this is me. You can only struggle so much. But now I finally got a few tips and tricks that I'm slowly using. So I hope to get there. I hope to get to the place that Justine Bateman's at with her loose skin, her flabby arms, where I think this is what a rad, cool, awesome face looks like. Oh, and while we're at talking about the face, one of the body image things that still bug me today, although I'm trying to accept it as a quirk and that it's a thing that makes me me, is if you look at my lips, there, this side and this sort of nostril pulls up and more than this side. And so I find like my lips are pulled skew. And so my lips are not symmetrical. They're not perfect. This one rides a bit higher. It's to do, I think, with the fact that this nostril is more blocked and wants to pull open and breathe. Asymmetry on my face, but we all have asymmetrical faces. Well, almost all of us. And so I think that this side, the eye is smaller, this whole side is it's asymmetrical. It is. Now, you also probably have an asymmetrical face. Maybe your one eye is also smaller. Cindy Crawford, very asymmetrical. There are so many celebrities. If you Google asymmetrical faces, you can find examples. And so, number one, that is my first tip to accepting any body part you dislike, is find a celebrity who's rocking that thing. Find somebody who you look up to, for example, Cindy Crawford with her asymmetrical face, and say, my God, Cindy Crawford's also got an asymmetrical face, so it's totally okay. It's totally okay. What I did in the case of my cankles was I looked up celebrities with cankles, and I found so many examples, so many. And so that really helped me to just say, you know what, it's okay, it's okay. I will say that for me personally, some of my body image issues in terms of being lean, in terms of my ankles, in terms of how I expect my body to look, is so much of that has been put into my mind because I've done fitness competitions. And a part of me kind of regrets doing fitness competitions for that reason, because there is such a high standard for the body to achieve in order to take part and or win a fitness competition. And whilst I never did them and took them that seriously, they still put that image in your mind because you're training towards an image, a certain look. And it's very hard for me now to unravel that image and put it out of my mind and say, a normal body is beautiful. So my mind has attached a certain amount of leanness, like you've got to be so lean to be perfect, which of course is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I know it's toxic and ridiculous, and that's fine for the world of competing and for those who want to do for those who want to do fitness competitions, go for it. But that look is not normal or sustainable or even natural. It is what it is. So let's get on to the tips. Tip number 2 is, I would highly advise you to make a list of all the things you do like about yourself and your body. So for me, in my case, it would be my hair, which as a teenager, I didn't like. It was very greasy, but now I really like that my hair is pretty much quite straight. It's easy to manage. It's kind of finer, but with the blonde, it makes it a bit thicker. So my hair is not unmanageable. It's not unruly. It hangs straight. I'm happy with it. My arms always look slim, even when I gain weight. And so although I've got a small, skinny upper body and chunkier legs, my arms always look good to me. Well, except when I get very lean, then they look too skinny. But I may not like my legs as much, but I'm happy with my upper body. And I must just celebrate that fact and just enjoy that. Number 2 is to remind yourself daily, and I've heard this before, but it still bears reminding to myself. This is as young and as beautiful as I'm ever going to look going forward. And so it just puts me in the mind space of, when I'm 60, looking back at myself today, I'm going to think, what was I worried about? Look how firm my skin was. Look how beautiful and plump and dewy. And so I know that when I'm 80, 70, 60, looking back on myself today, I'm going to think, I wish I could be how I look now, right now. And so instead of wasting time and effort and energy in my mind disliking what I see, I should be celebrating and saying, wow, look how young I am. I'm 45, so young, so plump, so dewy, because it's only going to get older and older and older. And I'm missing out. I'm missing out by sitting and nitpicking. I'm missing out on the beauty that is right here, right now on my face, the plumpness, the life, the energy that I've got. It is all here for me right now, today. And I wish the same for you. So no matter what age you are, instead of worrying, nitpicking, finding fault, enjoy where you are right now. If you are 25, 30, 35, 40, you are as young and as beautiful as you're ever, ever, ever going to be. So enjoy this moment right here, right now. Tip number 4 is to seek out movies, media, films, TV shows, whatever it is you can, pictures, images of older women who are just rocking their age, who are loving their wrinkles, just proudly, boldly being themselves. Jamie Lee Curtis comes to mind, Dame Judi Dench, Meryl Streep, Annette Bening, so many older women who haven't had work done or not too much obvious work done, and they're just rocking themselves. I think we younger women need to look up towards older women who are just embracing the stage and the age that they're at. We need more positive examples like that. Which brings me to point number 5. Follow and seek out body positivity influencers on social media. They really do help. Number 6, I say just imagine yourself on your deathbed and think, would I be worrying about this if I knew I was dying? You wouldn't be worrying about the extra kg, that little extra tummy roll, that spare tire. You wouldn't be worrying about the extra gray hair, the thinning eyebrows, whatever it is you're worrying about. If you're on your deathbed, you're not going to think about all those things. You're going to wish you had not worried about those things and just lived your life. Here's a fun one. Imagine that you were an alien observing yourself. And now, as an alien, this alien gets to also hear the thoughts that are going on inside of your mind. And this alien would be thinking, but why is this human being worrying about her butt being too big or her thighs wobbling? This alien would be thinking, but this is what a human being is. And the alien would be thinking, why are you worrying about something you cannot change? It is what it is. And the alien would be thinking, but look how weird we look, and we don't worry about how we look. So the point of this exercise is just to help you see the ridiculousness. It's so ridiculous that we spend so much mental effort disliking a body part, trying to change it. And I'm not saying don't go to gym. I'm not saying don't run, don't eat healthy. Do all of those things if they make you feel good. Do whatever you want to do, but hopefully you're doing it out of a place of enjoyment, joy, positivity, and not feeling bad about yourself, because feeling shit about some body part is just, it's like beating yourself with a stick, and there's nothing you can do to change. This is how you were born. This is your genetics. Yes, you can influence your genes, but like in the case of me, I have chunky legs and I'll always have chunky legs. No matter how skinny I get, my legs are always thicker and chunkier than the rest of my body. So I can't change or give myself broader shoulders. That's impossible. Look, I could take steroids if I wanted to and build my shoulders up, but you know what I'm saying? You can't really change the underlying structure of your body, your bones, who you are. And so instead of wasting time feeling bad, trying to change it, embrace who you are, rock the body parts that you don't like, and in fact, be an ambassador for those body parts. Why not? Number 8, I totally stole from Justine Bateman, and this good advice of hers is to journal about it. Journal about why you don't like these certain body parts. Journal about what you think is going to happen if that changed. Journal about your fears. Just write it all down. Bring it out into the open. Air it out. Air your fears out.
It's very
a
helpful
compliment.
if somebody's going to do this work, and I guarantee
You want me?
I guarantee
Yes.
anybody who wants to try this, I guarantee you, absolutely 100%, you are going to get free of these things. I'm telling you.
And think of all the money you will save to
It
not put
just,
so much into
there's
that.
something about just writing out or saying out loud those irrational fears. It somehow can't live in the same state after that. It just starts eroding.
So let's say, for example, me with my nose, and I did a lot of journaling. You know, I journaled about what I thought would happen if I had a better, cuter nose. And the truth is, I did think I would get more boyfriends, I'd be more popular, whatever the case may be. But luckily, by the time I had my nose job, I was 27. And so I'd actually proven to myself that nose as it was good enough. I had had boyfriends, I had friends, I had a social life, and that nose did not hold me back. And so when I finally got the nose job, I knew that it wouldn't change anything in my life. And I think you need to get to that place of acceptance of the body part you don't like as it is. Accept it, embrace it, Learn to live with it. And then if there's something you can change and you want to still go ahead and change it, then go ahead and change it. Now, number 9, this is a tip that came to me when I was thinking about my son. Imagine that you were your own loving mother and you could hear yourself nitpicking and pulling apart body parts that you don't like. So I imagine my son, who is the most beautiful boy in my eyes on planet Earth, and I shudder to think that he may find things about himself, about his body, his looks, his face. As he gets older, he might start to say, I don't like this, I don't like that. Maybe he's going to dislike, I don't know what yet. I mean, he's only just entered adolescence and he still, thank God, is blissfully not in that headspace. But with adolescence comes that headspace, sadly, where you start comparing yourself and you start judging yourself and wishing you were more like that popular person. And it breaks my heart that he will find fault with himself. Maybe, probably. I hope he doesn't. But then I think about me finding fault with myself. And if I were my own daughter, I would wish, I, as the mother, would wish that I didn't find fault with myself. As if I were my own mother, I would wish so badly that I just said, you know what? Cankles or not, I'm going to rock the cankles. And in fact, instead of trying to hide them, which I have done for many years, I try and dress in a way that minimizes or hides them, sometimes, mostly. I'm going to just show them off. So what? Instead of worrying about the fact that the sock puts pressure there and there's a bit of a fatty lump, just wear the sock and who cares? Who cares? Just go out and live my life. And maybe even be an ambassador for cankles, because cankles rule the world. And you can say the same thing about any body part of yours, cellulite, whatever, a flabby tummy that hangs over your pants, whatever body part, maybe your droopy breasts. Be an ambassador, rock your droopy breasts or your flabby arms or whatever it is, and show other women and other people, let's say you're a man as well, whatever body part it is, show them that it's okay. You can still be happy, you can still be healthy, and you can still live an awesome life no matter what your body or your face is doing. And so my greatest wish for you is that you love yourself. You don't have to love every body part. You don't have to love every little flaw and wrinkle and age spot or whatever it is you see. But in general, just love and accept yourself and trust that other people are going to love and accept you exactly as you are, and not be afraid to present the truth of yourself to people. It's something that I'm working on, and I wish you the strength to work on it too. And I do read each and every comment. Sometimes the 2 YouTube apps on my phone hides comments. It'll appear on the one app and not on the other. I don't know why, but I do try and make sure I look for all the comments, and to the best of my ability, I reply to each and every one. I value each and every single comment, all your support, all your love. Thank you for watching. Bye.